Hello folks and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics, Zell 58, and we had finished the first story, or first fight, and we ran into Delita near the end, and he ended up kidnapping the princess. So, not too sure, what side of the story we're on. I guess we are on the losing side of the story because, obviously if he's kidnapping the princess that we were sworn to protect, then he must be the bad guy, right? That makes sense. Princess is royal, and so she must be good, right? Well, flashback, I believe it's a year prior. They talk about, the soldiers returning from the 50-year war, had no jobs, little money, even less loyalty to the crown. Very similar to how it is here in America. People coming back from the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they don't have much to show for it, especially with our economy. Anyways, enough of a comment on our social times. It's funny because you can see history repeating itself year after year, or generation after generation rather. So yeah, robbery and murder were commonplace in Ivalice. And a lot of people that were nobles or were good people have now resorted to just killing and stealing from other good Samaritans. So we are now at the academy, so this must start when Zell is still cadet. And so we just got some cadets talking about rumors, and we got a younger version of Zell, cool, and Delita. So were they friends or soldiers in arms? So we got some sort of bigwig visiting, and this must have been before the start of the Lion War. Just a lot is being told in a very short period of time. We have a mission, yes! That is like the default sprite for the knights. I think they look awesome. They have their little cape and boots and crap. I think they look a lot better than squires. I guess that's the whole idea. Squires are meant to serve knights. But still, I think they did a good job with the knight sprite. Although I wish you could choose, the hair color. But this PlayStation, and pretty early in the PlayStation timeline. This was shortly after Final Fantasy VII, a little bit before GoldenEye, so it gives you an idea of what we were dealing with at that point. And it was only one disc, where Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs. And that's pretty good for what one disc could contain. So we have our first ability to lay out our army before battle, and just looking at our characters, we have Vanilla, a chemist, Stephanie, Beatrice. I use Beatrice. Santos and Hogan. Hogan, awesome. Yeah, brother! It really doesn't matter where you set these characters. Once again, this is another fairly easy battle. Only difficulty you'd have in the first couple of battles is if you don't know how to do things. I do remember the first time I ever played this game, I didn't know how to change classes or anything of that matter, and I survived till about the 4th or 5th battle in the storyline, and then I just got destroyed because you can't survive very long without learning how to change classes and how to set those up. So looks like we're fighting some thieves, some once honorary people, ex-soldiers of the 50-year war or what have you, just maybe some punk kids. Got a unique little picture for that character. which is funny because this is the only time we ever see him. Other than that, we have like the default pictures for the squires and chemists. I like that the character's name is Spider. I wonder what algorithm makes up these names. I know Alicia, Leviathan, that's her name, and Rad are always the first three characters that you have in the first battle, who you later on get to recruit, but you know, they never have like any dialogue or anything. Don't patronize me, I'm also a Bevel. So Bevel is a noble family, I guess. So Zell is, I guess, a fairly important, you know, kid. Or I guess his family is a rather important family name. So a good rule of thumb in this game is you don't want to go on your own. Great, so it just says wish. Yeah, you don't want to go ahead of the rest of the group and try to ramble it. You want to coordinate attacks with your team, because if you go one-on-one, you know, you're gonna have a little bit of difficulty, whereas, you know, if you go, you know, 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, you're gonna do pretty well. You just have to know who you're fighting, you know, what their abilities are. In this case, you don't really need to worry about it. I'm just, you know, familiarizing myself with my characters and what abilities they have. Looks like Beatrice there had just dash and equip change, but there's really no other items we can equip, so that's kind of useless. And I wonder what Hogan has. Maybe he has that leg drop. Well, doesn't really matter at this point. Just do some attacks. We can control every character besides Delita. He will be guest controlled and he'll be in our party for a while. So just, you don't have to do anything with him in between battles, but if you want to mess around, you can go ahead and change his class and really make it difficult for him to do well. You know, make him a white mage and don't have him learn any abilities, or maybe, you know, just make him a chemist and he'll attack and heal when need be. Chemists are pretty cool. Let me start talking about the classes. So you have the Squire, which, like it says, your basic attacking class, and then you have Chemists. Chemists are, well, like the name explains, they are item users, except they can throw items. And that is very useful, especially early on in the game, when you need a decent healer, but you don't have a whole lot of MP to work with. I would say Chemists are one of the most useful classes in the game. Has some great abilities, such as move, find item, which I'll get into that stuff a little more in depth, but that is very useful, especially in a secret area of the game, which I'll eventually get to, hopefully. And they also have what's called maintenance, which allows the character to not have any of their items broken by knights or whatnot. Then they also have the throw item ability you can equip, so that you could use that chemist ability for any tool you have. And then, of course, you know, they can use all the good items. They can use, you know, Phoenix Downs, potions, high potions, and any item you can get. They can equip daggers and guns later on in the game. The guns, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Squires, they can equip, I think, just about anything. They're your basic Onion Knight. If you've ever played Final Fantasy, what is that, 5? No, 4. Yeah, no, 3. Wow, Final Fantasy 3. Oh boy. Yeah, Squires, they can equip just about any item, any weapon. And their abilities are very basic. The most useful abilities that they have a move +1 and a gained JP up. and JP or job points. That is basically like your magic points in Final Fantasy VI, or they are the points, they are the currency that you use to gain new abilities for your characters. On top of that, you earn so much JP, you will earn a job level, and with job levels, you are able to unlock new classes. So like with a squire, if you job level up a squire, they can then become knights at level 2, and I believe archers as well. And like with a chemist, once they hit job level 2, then they can become white or priests or wizards, or white mage, black mage. And then from there you unlock other things, like a level 2 or 3 black mage or wizard is a time mage that you can unlock. And like I said, I'll get more in depth with that stuff later. But those are the basics. Right now we're just dealing with chemists and squires. And definitely recommend for this battle have a chemist, especially if you never played one of these games before, because you will want somebody to be able to heal you if need be. And let's see here. As you see, I kind of split off my team a little bit. I have the main character who does a whole lot of damage, go with Beatrice and just take out these characters over here. Let's take out Spider. For some reason that reminds me of Snake from The Simpsons, Boy! The felon that always gets away from the cops. It's weird playing with these characters knowing that eventually I'm just going to get rid of them and switch them out for other people. So at this point I'm not even worrying about gaining, job points or experience, because, after this episode I'll start my roster with, I think, maybe 1 or 2 characters and then start building from there. Basically I have a plan to gain a ton of the currency, the actual currency in this game. There's a very easy way to do that, as well as there's a very easy way to gain job points and experience, and I'll exploit that in a little bit. So I'm not really worried about that. It's just for the first few story battles, I don't really have that ability to make that much money, but that's okay. You want to try to take out that chemist, the sooner the better, because that way he can't heal anyone. And if you do some damage to him, then he'll worry more about, healing himself than the rest of his team to consider. But as you see, as long as your team is focusing on one person at a time, this battle should be easy. You just keep on it. Run, run, or you'll be well done! Haha! Nice. And I think I'll save my potion, because we're really in no trouble. As you see, once you've killed somebody, maybe I will use potion. Once you've killed somebody, you see a little number above them. That's their timer until they turn into either an item or a crystal. If they turn into an item, it will be one of the random items that they had equipped. And if they turn into a crystal, you can either you can walk over it, pick it up, and gain the HP/MP, get that filled up to full. So say you're about to die and you see the crystal, you walk up to it, you'll gain full health and full MP. Or if they have an ability that the character that walks over it doesn't have, they can learn that ability. So those are things to consider. If any of your party members are about to die, you have, that many turns until they turn into a crystal and you lose them forever. So don't don't wait to revive your party, especially your main character, because once he dies, it turns into a crystal. The game is over. You've lost. So consider that when fighting. Other than that, it'll be pretty easy. And Spider is trying to hold on for dear life. I think. At this point, I could make my character, gain a little bit of job points by attacking my own party, but I'm not gonna do that because there's no point. Like I said, I'm planning on getting rid of these characters as soon as I can afford to. Throw stone for the win! Alright folks, well, that's pretty much it for this episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics. Next episode, I'll show you a convenient little trick for the PlayStation version of this game, as well as start building my party. So until then, this is Zell58 saying thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, appreciate, and I will talk to you another time. Oh, and last but not least, you see these war trophies. You'll earn them after a story battle. They can be a little convenient. Anyways, I'll see you later.